an evisceration. This is the Israeli military at work in the Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. Out of sight, save for glimpses of the mechanical excavators scraping out the innards, leaving behind great puffs of smoke like dragons. The Israeli military, or IDF, says it is destroying Palestinian terrorist networks and infrastructure that have burrowed into the camp's narrow streets for decades. Residents say there are no more militants left.
Either arrested or either killed. So I think there is no use to surround the hospital.
Wissam Bakr is the director of the Jenin Governmental Hospital just outside the camp. Battle-scarred by proximity and hemmed in by the IDF's months-long presence.
They're planning, as we hear, to destroy many houses and to open a street to facilitate for them in the future, in any movement, in any military operation.
Israeli incursions into Jenin have been a regular feature of the occupation, known for many years as a stronghold for armed Palestinian resistance. This time, the army seems here to stay. Israeli troops entered the camp in January, displacing thousands of civilians. This was what the Defense Minister Israel Katz had to say.
The Jenin refugee camp will not return to what it was. The IDF forces will remain in the camp to make sure that terrorism does not return.
Since then, the army has blocked off all entrances to the camp. Try to catch a glimpse inside, and you risk getting shot at. That's what happened in May, when a delegation of foreign diplomats paused by a blocked entrance. The IDF called them warning shots. So the refugee camp is just up the road behind me, and this is about as far as we can go. No one is allowed in, not even the people who have been displaced, to pick up their belongings. The camp's residents, an estimated 30,000 according to the UN, are now scattered. Nazmi Torokman is the patriarch of a family of 25, staying in a university dorm about 10 kilometers from Jenin, longing only for a way back to the camp.
Even if these homes are destroyed, we'll sit on the rocks, the sand.
A former resistance fighter, Torokman believes Israel is trying to erase the symbolism of the camps, created after Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes in what became Israel in 1948.
Everyone in the camps is basically at a waiting station for the return to their lands.
There are similar Israeli army operations underway in other refugee camps, leaving many Palestinians across the West Bank worried that Israel is about to formally annex it. Its physical shape is already in a state of motion, altered by Israel's decades-old settlements project, illegal under international law, but still expanding. Palestinians say the occupation's imprint is deepening even further, with hundreds of barriers or checkpoints now stretching across the occupied territories. Dr. Dalal Irakat teaches international diplomacy in Ramallah.
Students don't reach their classrooms. Doctors don't reach the hospitals to give treatments to patients, let alone the patients who die on checkpoints waiting for 3 or 4 hours. So this policy of segregation, this policy of suffocation, of apartheid is documented in 2025.
Especially new, the arrival of iron barricades like this one in the village of Sinjil, north of Ramallah. Residents afraid to speak to us on camera for fear of repercussions by Israeli soldiers.
They want to choke us. They've taken authority on all the lands. Sinjil's lands are all gone.
The gate was put up last October, and a few months ago, she says, the IDF also installed a fence, cutting farmers off from their fields. In a statement to CBC News, the IDF said the structures across the West Bank were placed to safeguard civilians from terrorist attacks while maintaining freedom of movement for local residents. That's exactly what the Palestinians say they don't have, especially with increased attacks by hard-line Israeli settlers emboldened by Israel's right-wing nationalist government. Residents say the barrier in Sinjil has been closed for 6 months now. Not to mention the ones in Jenin. Ominous clouds for the future, according to Dr. Baker, back at the hospital.
This radical government in Israel, they focus on the West Bank, and we afraid that we are the next story, the next plan.
For many, a story already begun.